There's one. Get him. Get him. Oh, is that a bad one? That's, oh gosh, we're going right towards the dock. Oh, pull us, oh gosh. Pull us away, buddy. That's not a bad one. Oh, that is not a bad one at all. Get him. Get him. Oh my gosh, is that another good one? That's another good one. Welcome back, everybody. So I'm super excited to be out fishing because I am fishing with a brand new bait that got dropped at iCAST, and I have been waiting for this thing for about a month and a half since I saw it on social media, and it is the Magnum Cue Bomb from Geecrack. It's the biggest urchin bait, I believe, that's on the market. I could be wrong, correct me if I am, but yeah, just dropped at iCAST. Very excited to throw it. A lot bigger than the rest of the urchin baits, so hopefully that means some bigger fish. But let's get after it. But before that, we are also on the road to 5,000 subscribers. As soon as we hit 5,000 subscribers, we will be doing a giveaway over on Instagram. Love doing giveaways, so make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, share, hype, all that good stuff, so we can go ahead and give some stuff away. But let's get into it. So the water we are fishing today is quite murky, so we're probably going to start off with this black and blue one. Let's pop her open. So this is supposed to be made with an elastomer and the SAF. The SAF material, which it is. SAF is salt, aminos, and flavors. It's that stuff that comes out of Japan that smells absolutely awful. So should be relatively durable. It smells terrible, so you don't have to worry about putting any scent on it. This is the first time I'm seeing this thing, and I don't know if this is intentional or not, but there is like a hole in mine. I hope that's how they're supposed to be made. I hope I didn't get a weird batch or something like that, but nevertheless. So the center ball here is the SAF material. You can see the salt on there already. Basically, it is 1.5 inches, so quite large. I think that's 30 millimeters or something like that. It has a hook hanger that comes inside the package, and you can run it through the center of the bait. So you can go ahead and attach a weight to it easily. It clips on, and you don't have to worry necessarily as much about rigging. This goes back to my whole thing about throwing this thing on a circle hook, which is what we're going to plan on doing today. If you haven't seen my video on the circle hooks and how to rig it with urchin baits, my opinion, still by far the best way. And that's going to go and show, I think, in this video also, because it's universal. I don't know if you'd be able to throw a frog hook through this thing, because this is a ginormous bait, and I don't know that you'd have much hook gap if you just put a frog hook through it. So again, I'm still going to argue that my way is the best, but let's go ahead and rig her up and then start chucking around, see if we can't catch a couple fish, hopefully some big ones. All right, so this is the hook hanger that it comes with, so you can go ahead and clip on any sort of drop shot weight that you have. We're going to start off with the smallest thing. This thing does float, so we're going to start off with the smallest one. This is an 8-ounce tungsten weight, so it's quite small, but just clip it on there, and then you should just be able to run this hook hanger right on through. And it's just going to poke out right up through the top, so you can go ahead and run your hook through there and everything else like that, and that's how she looks. Pretty darn solid. And I mean, it should be pretty difficult to pull that weight all the way through. So we'll go ahead and, again, we're going to run a circle hook on here. Again, go watch my video, show you why it's by far the best, and then we will go ahead and see if we can't catch a couple fish like this. Let's get after it. All right, so this is how we have it rigged up. So we've got an 1/8-ounce drop shot on the bottom, kind of small, but it has a phenomenal fall, and those appendages just wiggle through the water. If we haven't already, I'll go ahead and show like some of the test tank stuff, maybe with some different weights and whatnot. And then we have tied on a 5/0 BKK hook. Love these BKK hooks. I think I've got this in owner. I don't think I've got to a 5/0, so this will just be what we're using. But go ahead and start chucking around and see if we can't get into a couple. This is kind of a heavier bait for sure. It's not nearly as finesse as the rest of your urchin baits, so I might end up putting even though it has that hook hanger, I might end up putting on a screw lock just to really make sure that it stays in there. And this is not something you probably want to be throwing on a finesse rod in any way, because it is quite heavy and there's quite a bit of drag with those appendages. So you probably want to be throwing on a medium heavy or something like that. This is actually my frog rod, a mag heavy, because it does have just quite a bit of pull against you. But let's see if we can't end up with a couple fish. We're only fishing for maybe 45 minutes today, so we're definitely going to be taking this out a second time. But let's see if we can't end up getting into some fish. That hook hanger did pull a little bit from our first cast, so I don't think we'll lose it. I mean, in theory, the teardrop would just have to pull through, which I think is possible, but probably unlikely with a circle hook. So, but I think in future we will most certainly go ahead and put another screw lock in there to hold everything together. And this is why we are going to go ahead and throw on a screw lock, because that bait was a very, very close to being lost. So that we weren't even throwing it for that long. It just caught wrong or something like that. I did have one backlash and it didn't come through like that, but that bait was wildly close to coming undone. There are some other holes in here too, so you can throw like a nail weight or something like that. I would still recommend some sort of screw lock or something like that, but yeah, we are definitely going to have to put a screw lock on this thing so we don't end up losing it, because you could use a lead weight that would be a little bit bigger, a little bit more difficult to be pulled through that hole. But a tungsten, even in 1/8 ounce, or sorry, this is actually a 3/16, and I like the fall on it a little bit better. But even that can clearly be pulled through with enough tension. So rather be safe than sorry. We'll throw on a screw lock and keep fishing. That one. Got him. You bet. First bite. First bite on the Magnum. Is it a better one? I don't even know. Oh, he's stuck in a lily pad. I think he's still on. Oh yeah, he's still there. Get off there, buddy. A small one. Not what I was expecting. There we go. Hooked in the corner. Didn't deep hook him. That was our first bite on this also. And I'll go ahead and let him go. 100% hookup ratio again with the circle hook. This is a bigger, I don't know if I said that in the beginning, but this is a bigger hook because we're obviously fishing a bigger bait. This is a 5/0 BKK. But there we go. First bite. Not as big as I was thinking. I fished the last day and did not have a single bite. So we've only been out here about 10 minutes and finally had our first one. A little small, but hopefully we found a few and they start getting a little bit bigger. Got one. Got him. Oh, that doesn't feel any bigger. It might be a little bit bigger, but I think we have found them in these pads. That's a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, for sure. He just didn't fight very hard. Look at that. That's a lot bigger than I thought he was. He just didn't fight at all. Perfectly hooked in the side. Look how pale he is. It's from this. Look at that. That's probably a 2 3/4. Wow. I did not think he was that big. I thought he was the exact same size as the last one. Well, there we go. That's more what we're looking for. They're so pale from this dingy looking water, but there we go. 2 for 2. See how our hook is looking. Okay. Let's see how our setup is. So, got a little bit wonky here. I don't know what pulled, but there's some stuff that pulled. Okay, so our screw lock came out slightly. And for whatever reason, our hook hanger with our weight pulled through a little bit. I don't know why that would be, because there shouldn't really be any pressure at all on that. But there we go. Reset up. Looks pretty much good as new. I don't know if these holes in the side where there's a bunch of appendages, I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or I just got the first batch and they might be a little bit wonky, but fish don't seem to care. But let's go ahead and re-rig this guy up. Oh, come on now. There we go. But on here we're 2 for 2. Pretty darn solid. See if we can't get some more good ones like that. There's one. Get him. Get him. Oh, is that a bad one? That's, oh gosh, we're going right towards the dock. Oh, pull us, oh gosh. Pull us away, buddy. That's not a bad one. Oh, that is not a bad one at all. Oh my. Oh, that's a good one. Don't do this. Oh. There we go. That has got to be a 4. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit your dock. We are definitely going to have to get a weight on that one. That is what we're after with this thing. Right in the corner. Perfectly the way it should be. Oh boy. Actually got stuck well. Come on. There we are. Perfect. We're going to get a weight on that one. Don't let her go. I did bring the scale because I knew that there was a chance that we would get some decent ones like this guy. There we are. Got her. All right. Zeroed out. It's got to be upper 3s, maybe low 4s. Upper 3s for sure. 360? 360. He's kind of skinny, to be honest, but pretty skinny for as big as long as she is. That should be close to a 4-pounder. Should be over a 4-pounder. I bet that's probably close to 19 inches. All right. Let her go, and she's off. That is what we were looking for with this thing. Oh. I did move up to a heavier sinker. This is, I think, a 1/4. Just to make it fall a little bit faster, because the fish seem to be a little bit more reactive than basically throwing it out and working in a ton. All the bites that I've had have been initially on the fall, so got something a little bit faster. Hopefully make them react a little bit quicker. Commit, and it worked. See if we can't get one more before dark. Got one. Get him. Oh my gosh, is that another good one? That's another good one. This one was pretty shallow. Oh my gosh. This one was really shallow. It was like in those weeds. I don't have to worry too much about this guy coming off. But they're starting to turn on right next to dark. Oh, we are all wet. Come on, buddy. There we go. That's not a real big one. It's probably 2.5. Again, right in the corner, right where she should be. See, this is a exact, oh, come on now. When you get these big ones and they get it down there, it's not super easy to get it off. Where's our pliers? Why aren't you coming off? There we go. There we are. See, that one's built better. Much fatter than the last one. If that other one was built like this, it'd be for sure a 4. But there we go. And she's off. That one was super shallow. It was right up in here. All right. They're finally turning on. There's one. Get him. You bet. Oh, that almost took no time at all. Oh, oh, that's not a bad one. We had a bunch of rain and colder temperatures. We don't have to worry about them coming off, that's for sure. There we go. Oh, get out of the sun. There we go. Right in the corner where it's supposed to be. Again, the problem with them, these bigger ones, is they get it so well down the corner that the angle is actually difficult to get out without a set of pliers. That's a 2.5 easy. We haven't been out here very long at all, but like I had hoped, there she goes. We had a little bit of rain, so there should be a lot more oxygen in the water. These fish should be a little bit more fired up, hopefully, and a little bit more willing to come out into some deeper water, because that water temp probably dropped a degree or two at least. So let's see if we can't get some more before the end of the, or before night, and this will be the last day of us fishing with the Qbomb Magnum. Fishing, in fact, did not turn on. I did try to switch on over to the green pumpkin with the chartreuse tips and did not have another bite, so that might have been part of our problem, but nevertheless, let's go home, talk about our days, and talk about our bait. All right, we made it back home after fishing with the Magnum Cue Bomb from Geecrack. So as far as our trips went, the first trip we went out did not have a bite. Second trip we went out did better, ended up with 4, and then our last trip we ended up with just 1. There might have been one fish thrown in there somewhere that bit and dropped it before we even attempted to set the hook, but beyond that, we had a 100% hookup ratio and catch ratio, and that is all due to this circle hook that we threw on there. In my opinion, circle hooks by far the best hook for an urchin bait, best rig, in my opinion, bar none. I will go ahead and tag my video that talks all about circle hooks and why they are, in my opinion, the best. We'll tag that at the end of the video so you can go watch and figure out if it's something you want to start throwing. But as far as this bait goes, in my opinion, it is the glide bait of urchin baits. You are not going to have a ton of bites, but the bites that you are going to have are well above average. The smallest one that we had bite, I think, was the first one, and that was like 1.5 pounds. Everything else was 2.5 plus. So it catches big fish. And if that's what you're going after, you know, whether you're fishing a tournament, whether you're just out there trying to catch a trophy, and you want to throw an urchin bait, this is your go-to. That being said, if you are fishing in ponds that don't have a bunch of fish, you don't know what size fish are in there, maybe not for you, especially if you're blind casting. Because if it's a bunch of small ones, there's not many of them that are going to bite. And if they do bite, the chances of you hooking those fish up are probably not all that great. But if you are fishing a tournament for some big fish, you know there are big fish in the lake, you are live scoping, anything like that, an absolutely phenomenal bait. Love it to death. One of the best things about this bait is this hook keeper / weight keeper. It allows you to change out weights on this thing so quickly and not having to worry about pulling out nail weights, worrying about destroying the bait or anything else like that. Absolutely phenomenal. I love that a lot. It helps keep in that hook. Earlier in the video, I think I showed it. If not, I'll show it now. I would not rely solely on this hook keeper, weight keeper thing to keep everything together. I did have a, I think it was the 8th. It might have been the 3/16th, but I was throwing that, and there was a point in time where there was just enough torque on it that at one point in time it almost slipped through, and I almost came back with just the hook hanger and the sinker, and the whole thing went through the bait. So again, in my opinion, still want to be throwing a screw lock on there. I can't remember what screw lock I have. It's extra large size. I can't remember if it's the decoy one or what, but it's extra large, fits it really well, goes well into the plastic. So I would recommend that, and that's basically what I have. I have the hook keeper with the center pin, and then I also have the hanger for the weight and everything else like that, and I ran the circle hook through both of those. You can go ahead and throw a piece of plastic on there to keep your circle hook or whatever hook you want to use on there, but with 2 of them and the plastic kind of pushing against it, I had no problems at all, and I didn't even need a piece of plastic to hold that thing on there. So as far as the weights, I only fished 3 weights. I fished the 1/8, the 3/16, and the 1/4. I think those would probably be all the ones that you would need. You could go ahead and go a little bit heavier, you can go a little bit lighter, but the 1/8 fell pretty darn slowly, so if you're fishing deeper water, it'll take a while to get down there, but if you're fishing something middle of the water column, wanting to work it like a jerkbait or something like that, 1/8 is probably your go-to. 3/16 seems very similar to kind of like a Senko fall as far as that goes. Relatively moderate. You can fish it shallow, you can fish it deeper. Obviously take a little bit longer to get to deep water. And then the 1/4, that's just, if for me, it was those reaction bites. I think the second trip we went out there and had more bites, that's what we were getting them on. When it was a slow fall sitting on the bottom, those fish weren't picking that up. It was casting out, and then on that initial drop or after a pop, that quick fall, that's what was getting them to bite. So I don't know what weight you necessarily want, but you could probably go a little bit heavier, even if you're fishing like really deep water. If you're fishing like 20, 25 foot or something like that, you could probably go up to a 5/16, maybe a 1/2 ounce. Half ounce I think would be a little bit much, but yeah, if you're fishing deeper water, it's probably a little bit better of an idea. But another thing I loved about these baits is they do not get warped. They don't get messed up. Those appendages are, I believe they're made of silicone, so they stay perfectly fine. I threw them just back in their boxes. I threw them in a tackle tray, and they look just like they should. So you don't have to worry about them getting warped, melting, anything else like that. So phenomenal as far as that goes. You know, low maintenance. You don't have to buy an extra box for it, so that's awesome. Let's talk about the things I didn't like. Obviously, if you're looking for number of bites, probably not the bait for you. It's just not going to get a bunch of small bites, but you know, that's good for some people for sure. But also, let's talk about, first off, we almost lost this bait just putting it on the hook hanger. Just on this guy, it almost slid all the way through the bait, so not ideal as far as that goes. I would 100% recommend putting on a screw lock just to hold that in place. Saved me a couple of times. That being said, there was one time I backlashed and I lost some appendages. They literally ripped out of the plastic. So not great as far as that goes. It still looked plenty fine. I did lose, I think, 2 of them, but yeah, you can go ahead and slide these back and forth. They do get kind of pulled out, I assume, because twitching in the water and everything else like that and casting. So you can go ahead and readjust them. I did not try putting some super glue to keep them in place, but they do kind of start to slide out a little bit. One thing that you can do with this hook hanger, phenomenal also, second use for it, is depending on, they have all these holes as to where the plastics go, and then as long as you can find that hole, you can push this hook hanger up through it, and then you can go ahead and put your plastic back on through it. See how easy we can do this. Even if I can't do this, you get the point. You can pull this through, and then you can go ahead and feed that back on through your plastic. So if you do end up with 1 or 2 getting ripped through, you can get them just like that, replaced back where they're supposed to go. So as long as you keep them. I lost one in the water somewhere, but that's that. Interesting bait. I like it a lot. I think this is not going to be the last time we throw this on the channel by any means. I like this thing a lot. You just want to have big fish around you so you aren't kind of wasting your time. But if you like glide bait fishing and want to throw something for some bigger bass, you need to try this. So much fun. But as always, if you guys like the video, if you wouldn't mind liking, and if you want to see more videos like it, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd be greatly appreciated also. And we will go ahead and tag that urchin bait circle hook rig video, so you guys can go ahead and watch that.